I lie when it suits me, Harry said, following Meghan. Sneaky style. Hello everyone and welcome to the Princess Diana News channel. I really appreciate your greetings and I am happy to share more useful information with you. My loyal friends, remember when Harry was talking about his memory and he was talking like this? Everything is as it seems. What a fun way to call you a fat liar. Once again Harry's brain cells were hard at work creating his latest truth. Indeed, his last fantasy. And I'm sure he got some help from his amazing wife who has a really amazing track record of dealing with my truth, but then again, Harry shows that he's actually allergic to the truth because of all this self-serving narrative. Unfortunately, the latest Netflix documents were a big fat lie, and this time they were debunked by the Express newspaper using Harry's past interviews. Most people learn at a young age that it is extremely difficult to stay on top of things. If you lie all the time, most of us figured this out early on, so he stopped lying, and in Harry and Meghan's case, over the years, they still haven't figured it out. If Meghan can't tell the truth to a British judge, will Harry have a chance to master the art of deception? Probably not. How long will this last? I mean, how much more suffering does his family have to endure, and what about the good people of Britain? When they were married for 20 years, they really fell in love with Harry and Meghan. 18. How long will Harry stay in front of the cameras showing the world what a worthless idiot he is? Well, it's clear that he's not done yet. Harry and Meghan will continue to do this until someone lets them. They don't care if they are born American Democrat or sugar. If you look closely, there are always enablers, and that's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? I wonder, should German taxpayers pay for their security when they enter? I hope not. If so, then someone please tell me why that I heard that Meghan asked to be on the red carpet but they denied the request and also denied her an interview on German TV. Praying these rumors are true for my community. Yesterday I shared some comments about how Meghan needs privacy so much that she has to take a photo and shake it to make a video. In my new reveal video, I also explain how Kerry Washington removed Meghan from Instagram when she posted a photo of them together. I would now like to address some of the comments that have been made that I encourage everyone to keep commenting, and boy am I not disappointed. First, JP9516 had me falling on the floor laughing when they were talking about one of the most unflattering hoax photos ever. Yeah, I would say wow. But I love my dogs as a dog lover. I agree it's not even worth comparing her to these wonderful creatures. Anyway, there are still a lot of comments about Meghan's appearance, and yes, I have to agree. She looks rough. I don't know what happened to him. She looks a lot older, and it doesn't matter what plastic surgery she's had recently. His expression seemed to have returned to what it was before, or rather what it had never been before. That I can't even handle it. Someone was talking about his eyes. It looked crazy. It was from Catherine. Someone is talking about that giggle. Yes, it's still there, and there's another video with great comments. Sue Clark, 59, said, "It takes a special kind of madness to Photoshop a picture of the Queen and Prince Philip at another event. Meghan left Archie intact. It takes a special kind of madness, but as we've noted, Meghan Markle definitely is." And I love comments too. However, I don't like Beyoncé at all, but I have to give her credit for being smart enough to keep Meghan and Harry as far away from her as possible. Meghan is 100% toxic. I'm also not the bride's biggest fan, as she has spoken ill of the royal family and publicly supported Meghan. But at this point I think she's figured out what's really going on here. I think she was a pretty smart woman, or at least she had a good business sense, and she knew that if she teamed up with the two of them, she would be tainted as well. Sorry that I don't have time to read them all and answer them all in this video. Please keep these comments coming as I love them. Anyway, back to business. Let's talk a little about why Harry and Meghan got together in the first place. Why did he fall in love with her? My guess is that Meghan was able to suggest it. Hey, he wants to throw a non-stop party for celebrities. She took advantage of her title and connections, which it turned out she had none of, but regardless, she took advantage of everything she had or thought she needed to win a lot of money through stupid squats. All she did was appear on a few talk shows, but she believed that was enough. She will be the next Princess Diana and everyone will love her. Meghan really thinks they can use these titles to make a lot of money marketing their products. Of course, this doesn't work. What about Marcus? Everyone did well. All of Marcus' daughters married extremely wealthy men and they immediately had a child. That was his annuity and repeat formula. He knew what he was doing, he was basically a pimp. However, I have never seen a groom more unhappy than Harry. He looked so angry that I thought he was going to leave her at the altar. The American media was all about their relationship, the marriage and everything that went with it, feeling like the media was trying to enable them or maybe work for them in some way. Let's recall the funny story about the high-speed bumper-to-bumper chase. I mean, any media outlet even broke the story, telling us that something suspicious was going on, and of course after the news broke, they had to publish the things that the NYPD and the mayor of New York reported. It didn't happen. Basically Meghan and Harry are being called liars without saying it outright. And then, of course, an episode of South Park. God, I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my entire life that I think it was pretty much the last one. I have been watching this story for a long time. At first she and Harry were doing very well in America, so sad because I didn't like either of them. Even after Oprah's interview, they did well, of course not in Britain, but where Meghan was really interested in Hollywood and believed that it was the only place where they could succeed in their dreams. And really, it wasn't just Hollywood, because let's remember that Meghan Markle thought she was involved in American politics. I think it had something to do with feeling that Meghan and Harry had the right policies. A lot of media coverage is edited to make it look better than it really is. Only the New York Post and the Mercury News and a few other outlets followed from the start. However, after the Netflix show, things changed again and there were sad complaints that were proof that they had it all planned out. Because why do they always take these photos? They accuse the royal family of being jealous of them and how amazing they are. As much as people love them, the reality is there are some idiots gushing about salads. Complaining about politeness because curtsying is a tricky thing to do because of exposure and is considered ridiculously offensive certainly doesn't help, and it's funny because they end up watching more of them. Often people explain their point of view and we want to sympathize with them, not create. Harry, I'm referring to a segment in the Netflix documentary series where they pretend to tell us their story so that we finally understand them. We no longer understand them, or maybe we already did. We just don't like them. However, they have been really successful and still feel that their political stance makes it difficult for many of us to express what we really think about them without being labeled a racist or a racist. Whatever you want and then the course. The story of this high-speed chase that can lead to an accident. How incredibly contrived, as if it was actually a major accident that prevented their absurd plans from coming to fruition. And now they can live in an apartment that looks like an olive grove and has 16 toilets. It's really sad. It's funny to me too, how Meghan and Harry try to portray married people who may be interested in certain people but aren't actually interesting. They're not like that at all. I mean, do normal people insist on flying on private jets with normal people all the time? Insisting on buying inappropriate designer clothes and only wearing clothes that ordinary people obviously cannot get along with, seriously lacks the tact and judgment necessary to join the upper-class society. These are the only talents they really possess. Harry is great at polo, while Meghan is great at being famous on social media. It's really like they don't know themselves. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they belong. They don't know what they are doing and where they are going. And that series of stupid documents they did. They acted as if it was so obvious that we finally understood them, but they just did the same old thing. They always make up a bunch of lies to discredit Harry's family. Most people haven't even watched the entire series from the beginning. It's full of lies. Do we really need to see Meghan trying on dresses, and then the book came out? I mean, just when we thought things couldn't get any worse, Spare hit the shelves. Now who in the world wants to read about a grown man whining that his brother broke his necklace and he fell down in a dog bowl and it hurt, and also that he wasn't the favorite in the family and his brother got a bigger bedroom than he did a more sausages, when no wonder it is the most thrown away book in hotels and beaches and every other place you cannot build an empire out of lying and not doing any work whatsoever. I did hear that some people tuned into Meghan's Spotify series because they were needing something to help them sleep. I'm not trying to be funny here, I'm just being accurate. They're absurd, they're actually cartoonish at this point. I mean, South Park did, but South Park didn't even have to try. It's obvious in both of them, and I really think people still want to read about them because watching them is exactly like watching a train wreck. We can't look away, we know we shouldn't, but we're still waiting for that final explosion. And seriously, I know that Harry has absolutely no confidence in himself, but what was he thinking? By doing all these interviews, he was blaming everyone for every mistake he made, but he was also invading the privacy of his father, brother, and sister-in-law. Then he had the courage to appear on television during the coronation. God, Harry was such a pathetic man. He is a liar. He is a doll. Jealous, vindictive, not a good guy. And you? What do you think about Harry and Meghan? Please let me know what you think in the general section below, and anyone else can discuss this pairing together. Don't be afraid to like my video and share it with your friends and family members who need it. If you think my videos are interesting and funny and more, please visit my Princess Diana News channel for more updates in the future. Thank you so much for listening to Goodbye, and we'll see you tonight.